What's good, everyone? Welcome to The Drop. This is the official podcast of comicdrops.com. Just to give a quick little rundown for anyone who might be new, every single week we gather up the most important and entertaining pieces of news that's been released throughout said week, and then when we talk about it on here, it's pretty fun. As always, I am your host, Josh Sharp, and we have a great group of guys joining us today. Back with us once again, we have Ander Lilly. Ander, how's your week been?
It's been great. Glad to be back.
You always have to throw that in there every single time. I love it. And guest appearing once again, we have Caboose XBL. Welcome back, man. How's it going?
You know, you really should start paying me at this point. I mean, enough's enough. No, I'm kidding. What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back.
Just start throwing money at Caboose. And last but most certainly not least, we have the creator of SuperBroMovies on Twitter, Parker. Parker, thanks for taking the time to join us, man. How you doing?
Hey, it's no big deal. Are y'all paying for the first time people too, or is that an
paying
option?
in Trident layers?
Cool. Okay.
So earlier I mentioned that we gather up the most important bit of news. Well, that's not really happening this week, considering like there's been nothing besides the 40 people that's been casted in Spider-Man: Homecoming. So, and I don't really want to talk about that. I don't think any of the other guys do. So basically,
I just got cast in the movie, so I mean, we could talk about that.
Scoops! You heard it here first. Caboose XBL, cast in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Damn it, Caboose! I'm waiting on my agent to get back to me.
He's playing Dr. Kurt Connors. So instead of covering like I mentioned, all the people in Spider-Man: Homecoming, we're gonna be talking about the Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut, and then if time permits, we'll cover some questions that people have submitted. All right, so since the original cut of Batman v Superman has been out for about 4 months now, we're not going to have any restraints on spoilers. So, guys, like, when you're talking, just go ahead and...
Superman died.
Well, there you
go. We're not even waiting. We're just going out there.
Just throwing all the haymakers. But, yeah, don't worry about spoilers, obviously, as Parker has just told the biggest spoiler of all. Actually, you know what, Parker, since you are one of our guests today, why don't you start us off? What was your initial thoughts of the theatrical release, and then compare that to your thoughts on the Ultimate Cut?
I was actually really, really excited for the theatrical, as y'all who follow me know. But I ultimately left kind of disappointed. Thought it was kind of a mess. I'm a big DC guy, and just left a little disappointed. But
wait, so you're not a Marvel shill like everyone says?
I mean, when my paychecks come through, I am, but...
Hashtag exposed. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, they haven't paid me in a while, so I'm waiting for Doctor Strange, buy some new equipment. No, but the Ultimate Cut, I liked a lot more. It fixed a lot of the plot details that I had problems with. And just, I think it went up 1 whole point in a 1 to 10 system for me.
What was your original score on the theatrical cut?
Like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Very nice 7.
Okay.
A generous 7?
A very generous 7 in my opinion. But now it's I think I put it at 8.6. It's really up there. I was really impressed with the Ultimate Cut.
Were there any things that you didn't like from the Ultimate Cut?
Some things Lex say still bother me, but I think it's all facade, so I don't know how I feel about that yet. I like Jesse Eisenberg, so I'm still waiting to see more. I don't know.
Okay. Caboose, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I already kind of went on a bit of a rant on my channel when I reviewed it, so I'll share some of the same things that I said there, in that there's not everything in the Ultimate Cut is perfect. You know, there's a lot of just like 30-second to 1-minute additions to scenes we already have seen in the theatrical cut. You know, like in the Nightmare scene, there's some extra shots of Batman walking and stuff, and it's there's a lot of that's just unnecessary. So, that being said, there's 10 minutes tops of just integral stuff that desperately needed to be in the theatrical cut of Batman v Superman. And it upsets me that this stuff was cut out. The entire Senate scene, above all else, I don't know what they were thinking in cutting that out of the movie. It was so important to the character development of Superman and to that scene as a whole, because I guess since we're talking spoilers here, in the theatrical cut, the wheelchair explodes in the Senate room and everyone dies and Superman's like, I'm out of here, you know, and he just flies off.
Pieces out.
Yeah. But in the Ultimate Cut, you see him like helping people and he's carrying people out to the paramedics, and it's like then he looks around, he sees all this death around him and he's ashamed in himself, and it's like now he flies off and you get it, and it's like, oh my goodness, they didn't put this in the movie? Are you joking me? So I was really upset, but I mean the Ultimate Edition is really, really good. They added a lot of the scenes to this film that made it better. It fleshes out a lot of the stories that you see in the theatrical cut, and it just makes it overall a better movie, and it's upsetting that this couldn't be what we got originally. But it is what it is. For me, the theatrical cut I still enjoy. I just wish that this is what we could have gotten from the start.
Any gripes with the Ultimate Cut?
Like I said, there's like not everything is perfect. There's a lot of just extensions to some shots, and that's it. I mean, there's a lot that could have just been not in there to start, and there's stuff that I understand that was cut out from the theatrical cut, but there's other things that desperately needed to be in the theatrical cut.
I agree. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, over the past few weeks, I've made some enemies of DC fans with my critique of Batman vs Superman, but I really enjoyed the Ultimate Edition. Just like what you guys said, it really fleshes out a lot of the plot points that seem to really get cut down in the theatrical cut, especially like the African scene and the Lois Lane's plot. That really made sense now that we saw it in the Ultimate Cut. Because when I first saw it, I didn't understand how people would have thought that was Superman who killed those people. But then they showed that, you know, Lex's men like burned everyone.
Right.
So it made it look like Superman and, you know, used his laser vision. And so that made sense. And I guess it just made Lex Luthor seem so much smarter in this version.
Yes.
And that's what I really liked. I really liked seeing that. And then I'll go back to the Senate scene, and where the scene that got cut out was when that woman who was making all those claims against Superman, and then you find out she's a fraud. And
you find
like,
she's a paid actress, right? From Lex.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Senator Finch is kind of onto that, and so she knows like what Lex is doing. And so when she comes into the scene right before the Senate scene and she looks all flustered and just kind of freaked out a bit, I didn't understand why she was like that in the theatrical version, but it makes so much sense in the Ultimate.
Yeah.
I think I can understand why she was like that in the theatrical cut still as well, because like when Lex confronts her about asking for the import license, he really gets up all in her face, but it makes even more sense in the Ultimate Edition.
Exactly.
So,
and then just so much more Superman and Clark Kent doing, and that's just what we needed. I felt like I just didn't care about Superman in the theatrical cut. In this one I did.
Yeah, they made it feel like instead of a Batman movie with Superman in it, it was a Batman and Superman movie with the Ultimate Cut.
Exactly.
Lots of more
Agreed.
Clark Kent and lots of more journalist stuff. It's really upsetting, some of the things that was cut out of this movie. Because you look at Dark Knight Rises, and I looked it up. Dark Knight Rises clocks in at 2 hours and 45 minutes. That is 13 minutes longer than Batman v Superman's initial run. If they added just those 13 additional minutes with those integral scenes from the Ultimate Edition, imagine the Rotten Tomatoes score. Imagine how much less people would hate the movie. I don't think it would be praised, but I don't think it would have nearly got as crushed by everyone online as it did.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Agreed.
Did y'all feel like it didn't need an R rating? Also, like, I never really thought it should have been R rated.
yeah.
I agree.
Well, I
It
mean,
just added some CGI blood every once in a while, and it was like, okay.
yeah, like the one unnecessary F-bomb that the guy dropped, which I thought was kind of unnecessary. But I understood why he said it, because he was upset. He lost his family, he lost his legs. He's mad at Superman. But I mean, that the whole F-bomb thing didn't. I don't really see how they needed to make that R-rated. It didn't need it at all.
I mean, Batman snapped a few elbows, but the kids can see that. That's no big deal.
Yeah, I mean, he snapped an elbow in the theatrical version. That was PG-13, so I don't see, I guess, too many elbow breaks just makes it just
the MPAA has like a amount of elbow breaks to rated R, and he passed it.
You get one F-bomb, but you go 2 elbow breaks too many, and we're going R. 3 elbow breaks, and it's NC-17.
4 NC-17, man. Adults only. Jesus.
Oh, and he rips the guy's dick off. I think. No.
Yo, okay.
See that too?
So, I mean,
What the fuck was that?
I wanna address that really quickly. So after Batman destroys everyone in that warehouse, and there's that guy pinned up against the wall with the knife in his shoulder, what the hell does Batman do to that guy?
He rips his dick off. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he like went for his throat. I don't really know, but he looked really mad. He just destroyed that man.
That was a great shot though. Like. He was all pissed, like, oh god.
Yeah, I like paused the movie, turned to my dad, and I was like, "What did he do?" He was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Oh well." Get what I'm playing.
So what the hell movie did you put on?
Yeah, dude. But yeah, I have to echo what most of you guys said. There's one thing that I'm surprised that none of you guys mentioned that I'm gonna mention, and it was a really big gripe of mine, and it still is.
I know.
But yeah, the whole Africa scene, the ultimate cut really pieced everything together because it showed you Lex's plan from the outset. Like as soon as the Africa scene started, you saw Lex's plan in motion and how he was trying to frame Superman. And then the whole like Lois with the bullet thing in the theatrical cut, that scene, that whole like subplot was like really tedious, and you're just like, this is kind of boring. I don't really care. You know, just get to the good stuff. Get to the Batman Superman fighting or whatever. But with the addition of Jenna Malone's character and having her help Lois to figure out where the bullet came from and like whose it belongs to and like that whole thing, and piecing it together is just brilliant. I was like laughing the entire. I was like, finally, I know what's going on. And then the Senate scene with the wheelchair being like covered in lead, and that's why Superman didn't see it. That was brilliant, and I don't know why they left that out of the movie. Another thing that they left out of the movie that really pissed me off was the Arkham Asylum reference. How in the crap are you gonna leave out a reference to Arkham freaking Asylum? And that pissed me off so much, dude. But
they could have easily like cut out some useless scenes in the movie and added these integral scenes, and just could have made just so much better of a movie the first round.
They could have cut out the dumb Clark Kent talking to his dad thing.
Oh,
that
dude,
was so
that was
useless
still stupid,
and so
still stupid,
confusing and dumb. And there's an extension to it in the Ultimate Edition, which is again one of those things where it's like,
he's
who cares?
Come to die.
Okay, Superman, like, stop climbing mountains. You can fly. So just
I went to the bathroom during that scene. I knew it was coming. I had to pee.
And that's actually something else that I want to talk about was the whole Jonathan Kent and Clark scene. The Ultimate Cut, like the way that they did it, the way that they did like the whole like Senate scene and like him, saving everybody, then looking around, seeing all the death and destruction, and just being really kind of just embarrassed and kind of just like sad, and him flying off. Instead of him, he still should have gone to the mountains. I do agree with that, but instead of having him talk to his dead father, he should have just had him build the Fortress of Solitude. That would have been that would have been absolutely
badass.
You have him like building it, and you have some voiceovers from Jonathan Kent or Jor-El or what have you, or his mother, and just make it a really like an emotional scene that like Superman is lost, he doesn't know what to do anymore, so now he's building this building or this structure that where somewhere he can go and he can just kind of just sit down and just relax and kind of just gather his thoughts. That would have been perfect.
On one of those hammocks, just
Yeah, just grab a little
Superman
just
thing.
chill on the ice. But like and the one thing that they left out, and Caboose, you know this already.
Oh, I know.
The one thing that they left out of this movie that I was almost sure that they were gonna put in the Ultimate Cut is they left out the scene of Batman infiltrating LexCorp to get the kryptonite.
What? I was pissed. Oh, that pissed me off. That one clip we got was great.
Dude, I rewound that clip about 7 times.
just
watching
seeing
him
him drop down.
Yeah, like
Oh
how
my
are you gonna
God.
leave something like that out of the movie, like and not even film it? Like every person that I have spoken to who has seen this movie has said, I wish they would have put that in the movie, because that scene alone could have been the coolest scene in the movie,
10 out
even
of
better
10,
than
yeah.
Batman and Superman's fight, or the Doomsday fight. Having Batman infiltrate a highly secured structure and going in and stealing something while like taking out like a bunch of guards.
It'd be like
That-
the Predator
Had
match
we
in
not
Arkham.
gotten the Batman warehouse scene, it would have been so disappointing if we didn't get him infiltrating Lex or LexCorp. But I mean, I think the whole warehouse scene was like, it was like Batman enough for me to where I was like, I am satisfied. This is the definitive Batman, and that is the end of that, you know? But I mean, I do wish we saw the LexCorp infiltration because he messed some shit up in there, and you know, there was people needing CPR. I would have liked to see that, you know? I would have liked to see
Yeah.
Batman kick
It's like
just a little more ass, you know?
It's like the challenge mode in Arkham. They could've freaking
That's
totally
right.
they had the Predator as that one, and the combat as the warehouse.
That's right.
See,
That's right.
see, listen
That'd
to
have
us,
been badass.
WB.
Yeah.
We know things. But like, yeah, dude, that part really annoyed me.
And going back to what
I-
you're saying about Clark on the mountains, I like the Fortress of Solitude idea. What would have just totally sat well with me too is if he was just walking around and it was just flashbacks to things that Jonathan Kent said in Man of Steel. It was so random, and it made no sense that for some reason he's seeing his dead dad like telling him this story about, you know, getting all his
Cakes.
horses killed and eating a cake and stuff, and it's like, what? Like, where is this coming from? Like, what, is he seeing visions now? Does he have a new power? Like, it would have just...
It's Martian Manhunter.
Seriously, like, it makes no sense. It's so random and so out of place in the movie. It would have made a lot more sense, or I would have been a lot more comfortable with it if it was just him, like, walking and, like, you know, hearing flashbacks of Jonathan Kent saying, you know, you're Superman, dude, what's up? You know, things like that. Whatever he said in
That's
Man
a
of Steel.
quote. That's
I
a
don't
direct
remember.
quote, isn't it? Yeah.
direct quote. What's
And
going
then, like,
on, man?
And imagine
Oh,
how
shit,
cool
what
it would have
up?
been if he was like hearing these things, and then like you see the ground, you see the snow start lifting as he's starting to float, and he's like, "Superman's back, bitches." You know, like that would have been so much better for me. But I don't work at Warner Brothers, so I have no.
Just saying, screw Terrio. Why don't we get Caboose writing the next Batman versus Superman movie?
Just do it.
I'm back,
down.
bitches. I'm back.
Batman's back, bitches. Oh my god. But I mean, yeah, I think I mean I also enjoyed like the Clark investigating, well, not investigating, but kind of just going to Gotham just to gather some information on the lady, who said like her family died and during the whole like sand Africa incident. I don't know why I said sand. Just forget that part. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I also enjoyed the theatrical cut, but this one, it pieced everything together really well. It made everything made a nice coherent like story that I actually really appreciated.
Yeah.
Seeing the extra Clark scenes and kind of just seeing like where he was at made his death a little bit more significant to me, and I was just like, I felt like kind of bad because when I first saw the movie, I was just like, oh, he died, you know, oh, okay. I still think it's a
Hell,
bad
there's
idea
a
to kill him for
moment.
some reason.
I didn't really
There's a
feel
moment
any
during
emotion.
Clark's like whole journalist things that he was doing that kind of even provides motive to why he continues fighting Batman when he's talking to that lady who is the widow to the guy who gets killed in the prison, and she goes up to
That
him
boy
and she
got
says,
shanked so bad.
yeah, yeah. She goes up to him. She's talking to him about like Batman. She's like, "You can't stop him with words, only fists." And it's like, oh, it makes so much sense now when he confronts Bruce and he's trying to explain the situation, and Bruce is just not listening to him. That's why he starts fighting him, and it's like, you can't stop Batman with words, only fists. And it makes so much more sense. There's motives added in there. There's character development, and it's like, Warner Brothers, what were you doing? What were you doing?
So you're saying Batman is
WB plays.
crazy?
But
You're saying Batman is crazy? Wow, I did not know that.
See,
I don't read
Batman's
comics. I watched the
stubborn?
movie. Duh.
What?
I mean, I still think that the majority of Superman really still want to fight Batman just because of the things that he's done. I think Superman went there with the intention of trying to get his help, but I think deep down he was just like, I really want to stop this guy.
I really
'Cause-
want to kick his ass.
Punch this douche straight in the face.
Yeah, like, and like I like watching that, especially with that extra scene of him like grabbing Batman. First of all, can we, although like it was the theatrical cut was not as good as this one, can we at least applaud the editing sometimes? Because when Superman walks through the fire and in the theatrical cut pushes Batman up into the building and throws him onto the bat signal, in the ultimate cut he grabs him and throws him into a completely different area. The editing, I was like, wait, there was more to that scene? I was really surprised. But
it's gonna be weird watching the theatrical cut because it's gonna feel incomplete. Because it does feel incomplete. Like,
yeah,
now
I
after
think
seeing this,
I think I might do that tonight. But like when Batman, when Superman picks up Batman and throws him to the other side, and you see him walking towards him, I saw in his eyes that he was just like, I really want to hurt this guy. Like I really want to stop him. And I was like, damn, Superman, okay. And then they all started fighting, and I was like, okay. But I wish they added more to the fight, though. The fight was still too short.
I think, though, at the end of the day, like, I mean, granted, from what I'm hearing, a lot of the people that didn't like Batman v Superman before like the Ultimate Edition and think that the movie is good now. For me, when I was watching it, it was like I really wasn't expecting anyone who disliked the movie initially to end up liking it. So I'm really surprised because, like, you know, the third act still happens. You know, the Martha thing still happens. Doomsday is still there, and there's this giant CGI fight with Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman and Doomsday. So I'm surprised that a lot of people liked it that much more. I'm guessing the whole little character development and everything did please a lot of people, and the editing being smoothened out and not cutting to black every 10 minutes helped the film a lot. Because, you know, you don't get anything crazily new. You know, you don't get Aquaman coming out of the water with the kryptonite spear like everyone was expecting. You don't get any of that. It's all generally the same in the third act. So I'm really surprised, especially Ander and you, Parker, liking this movie that much more with the Ultimate Edition, because I was expecting most people to just feel the same way but slightly feel better. But yeah, this response has been crazy. So yeah,
you're right. I don't think I really like the theatrical cut. I like some scenes in it, but it's like a cookie cutter. Like, it's just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like, so out of place. This one just flows so nicely, and that's just makes it so much better. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I want to see the 4-hour cut now, honestly. Bring on the 4-hour cut, like, because I know that, and then they even mentioned it, is that when they originally finished filming Batman v Superman and they put all the footage together, the movie was about 4 hours and 25 minutes, something like that, for almost 4.5 hours. I want to see that.
Snyder's 4-hour cut is very similar to the Watchmen 4-hour cut, where we just get this weird comic book subplot. So
yeah. Oh wait,
it's
talk
actually
about the Tales of the Black
minutes.
Freighter.
Oh.
yeah,
I didn't really like that part.
Yeah,
I didn't like,
it is what it is.
that. But
it's actually the 45 minutes of him talking to his dad on the mountains added. That's the only thing in the 4-hour cut.
Yeah, they get some lawn chairs, get some beers, just chill out, just hang out.
They watch the game. They watch the game. No big deal. They kill some horses.
Talk about what other horse or farm animals they kill.
Kill some horses. Make some polar bear.
Have some
jackets.
hero cake.
You say some hero cake?
Okay, one that makes zero sense to me. You know how when they're arresting the Wally guy in the wheelchair, how he's like, I work for Bruce Wayne. Why does that matter?
I
never thought that. And then him writing the letters to Bruce Wayne, like, why would he be pissed at Bruce Wayne in the first place?
Well,
like,
I was assuming that was coming from Lex, but I didn't.
So Lex was getting his paychecks?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Know.
Yeah, because it was Lex, because on the rooftop he even mentioned, he said it didn't take much to push him over. Like, you let your family die. Like, so basically he knew about the letters or whatever.
Right.
Anyone who doesn't like Lex, which I kind of don't like him in the first half of the movie, that rooftop scene is just so freaking good.
I know Ander feels really strongly about that scene.
Oh,
Do you
I
like it
love
or
that
dislike
scene
it?
so much.
I'm gonna say it, and I don't care if people don't like it, but Jesse's Lex Luthor is the best comic book villain that we've gotten this year. Do not come and make me with that Zemo crap or Apocalypse, because Apocalypse is basically a humanish kind of version of Ultron. And
Not my Luthor.
I thought Zemo was good.
Did
but-
you just compare Apocalypse to Ultron? Josh, I think I have to leave.
No. Okay, no, hey, no. Let me explain. Let me explain to you exactly what I mean by that. And this is something that I'm. You don't listen to our podcast. I'm kind of ashamed. Kind of sad. But
Wait, y'all have a podcast? Hello?
Wait, hold on.
wait. What is this
Recording
again?
A podcast?
I don't have to be here.
What? Deuces.
Are we-
But yeah.
are we
Let
still
me
getting
explain to
paid?
you what I mean by Apocalypse reminded me of Ultron in some ways.
Please
So
do.
when Ultron was like originally like awoken next to Jarvis and he was just like, oh, what am I doing here? He's like, you've been asleep. And then Ultron starts to learn about humanity and like the kind of things that like and how they are and stuff like that. And he's just like, okay, well,
Memes.
these people need to be wiped out. It's the almost like same exact thing when Apocalypse is in Storm's like little house or whatever, and he grabs the TV and he was just like, I'm learning. He's doing the exact same thing. He's learning about humanity. He's learning about the human race, learning about the superpowers and the nuclear weapons, and he's just like, this world must be cleansed. Boom. It's the exact same thing.
The only
in Age of
difference is
Ultron.
Apocalypse doesn't run out there making omelet jokes. Okay, he's a serious villain.
That's okay.
Ultron
I,
is
I
a
like
trash villain.
Ultron. I'm about
I'll
to get
be
in
the
here.
first to
Oh
say it.
gosh.
Okay.
I'll see you after the chat, Caboose. I'm a Marvel shill. The check just came through, so now here we go.
Marvel shill AF.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, I'm sorry, but so the first half of Lex, I find myself rolling my eyes at him. He's not supposed to be likable, I know that, but I don't know. I was expecting something really different from Jesse, and I was hyping him up on the page a lot. And I do think the whole Jolly Rancher thing is kind of dumb, and then some things he says are kind of dumb.
Yeah, the more
Yeah.
I've watched Batman v Superman, the more I see people's gripes with Lex during
Yes, same.
the first
I liked him at
half,
first.
because he is really goofy. But I mean, I don't know.
It's a facade.
At the end of the day, it is kind of a facade, because like when it comes down to business,
Or is he?
he's pretty straight faced. You know, like when he's in that chamber with Zod's body and everything, he's not like, you know, putting Jolly Ranchers in Zod's dead body. You know,
But he's still making
It's
weird
watermelon.
jokes though when he's by himself.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Jury's still out on that one because that rooftop scene is great.
it is.
Absolutely.
We get more of that, and more of what we saw at the end of the movie, which I thought was really great. His moment with Batman. Then Justice
Yes.
League could have a Lex Luthor that a lot of people are more on board with. So
Can that man wipe his nose though, please?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was.
Tissue. Get him
it
a
was some
fucking
snot
tissue,
dribble.
please.
But yeah, did anybody else catch that like the Lex Luthor Senior like nod
well,
when
which one?
when Lex
In the
was
bed?
talking to
Talking
Senator
about his
Finch and he
dad,
was just
right?
like, yeah, he was just like maybe Dad will come back if I don't change anything in the room. I like does that mean that his dad's still alive, like the OG
does he
Lex Luthor?
say that, or does he say he kept
They
the
never say
room
how
just
he
like his
dies.
dad always had it, except for the painting or something? I don't know.
No, he when he was standing by the fire. Wait, he said orphan boys. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Well,
Did they? I always thought the guy collecting the kryptonite in the beginning of the movie was his dad. It looked like it could be like a Lex Luthor. You know what I'm talking about? He was like
Oh
in the
yeah.
Indian
Who
Ocean.
was that?
Oh, that was gonna be Lex Senior. Just like, but no.
yeah, I think he was at the docks helping Lex put it.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. But yeah,
I
I mean,
don't
I would probably give the ultimate cut like a 9.
I gave it a 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I really enjoyed it. I mean, and it's something that because like I wouldn't say I'm a DC shill. I mean, but not
But
entirely.
you're like getting checks in the mail and stuff from
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I'm
Wait,
rolling.
wait,
I'm
wait,
rolling
wait.
in bread
Yeah.
right now.
How much
Oh,
is-
gosh, thank
how
you
much
to
is
DD
DC
for that,
paying
for
you?
that check last week? Appreciate it.
Switch to DC.
But like when I was writing my review for Batman v Superman when it first came out, as I was writing it, I realized I had so many questions, and I was just like, and one of my main like questions was like, how did people think that Superman did the whole like Africa scene when all he did was like take out one dude, and then everyone else is riddled with bullet holes. And then Superman's death, I was just like, how are they gonna do that in Justice League? And I still have that question, but the Ultimate Cut really smoothed out a lot of the gripes and a lot of the questions that I had coming out from the theatrical cut. But I really enjoyed this. I watched it again last night, and I enjoyed it even more the second time around. But yeah, that was really good.
I think that
So
I
you're-
still think the nightmare scene is one of the coolest scenes in a comic book movie. I know
Oh,
a lot of
yes.
people have a
Yeah.
problem with it, but I Every time I
Why?
see it, I get chills, man. I freaking love it.
It's a really cool fight scene.
I have not seen anyone have a problem with the nightmare sequence.
No, a lot of
think it's the
people that I
placement.
watch online and stuff really weren't a fan of it, and I don't get it. I mean, I guess because it is a little confusing, the whole with the Flash jumping in and he's like talking about Lois Lane being the key and everything. It's all weird, but I think it's awesome. I love sometimes. It's not great to ask or to have questions about movies and not have them answered, but sometimes it's like, to me, that's like the fun of it. Like having a mystery and waiting to solve it or trying to figure out how to solve it. I love that. So I was all for the nightmare scene and the Flash appearance, but from what I've seen, a lot of people didn't like it.
I feel like for everyday users, that Flash scene is really confusing because that person never shows up again. It's kind of like, he does show up in the security camera, but I think they should have had a scene with Barry Allen, like, in person, so then you could be like, oh, that he talked to him earlier, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And everyday users, and that's, I feel like, if I was an everyday person, I'd be like, what the hell just happened? That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, being a comic book fan and being a fan of these characters and just DC lore in general, I almost immediately knew who that was, and I immediately connected the dots, just knowing the Flash's power set and kind of just seeing the whole dystopian kind of like Injustice type future that that Batman saw. But I mean, I could definitely see where like the occasional moviegoer could be like not like aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was the Flash, but like my family was like, wait, who is that? You know what I mean? Like, I've been DC fan longer than I've been Marvel fan, so.
You better watch out. People are gonna get mad.
I don't know. I didn't really connect. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say I really didn't connect to Marvel until the MCU, and except for talking about Spider-Man. But I don't know. I never really got into Marvel comics as much.
Yeah, I haven't read a Marvel.
Yeah.
I know Anders praising about it, but I haven't even had a thought about picking up Civil War 2 yet. So.
Oh God, I don't want to read that. Looks dumb.
It actually hasn't been too bad. So,
But would
read
you
the new
suggest
Captain
it at
America,
the price
though.
that it's at? Because like they're putting it like $6.99, $4.99.
the pricing's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. But I have to continue it.
So from here on out, which movie is canon in the DCEU? The Ultimate Cut or the
I
theatrical?
think the Ultimate.
I would say the Ultimate. Yeah.
I would say the
I would
Ultimate
think
Cut,
the
but
Ultimate,
I mean
but-
the theatrical cut is the one that a majority of the people are going to see. So I
Yeah.
doubt it'd be the Ultimate Cut. So I don't know.
Like,
But would it
it's
really
weird.
change much?
Yeah, Jenna Malone
mean-
is in it.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
One thing.
I mean, it's not that it changes much, but like
Just flushes it out.
yeah, there's a lot more additional scenes that make other things make sense, and those things aren't in the theatrical cut. So it's like, do those things technically not exist in real continuity?
Yeah.
Or are they still there? Filmmaking is frustrating sometimes, man, and the politics that get involved in it it's really hard, and I feel bad for Zack Snyder because you see with the Ultimate Edition that this guy had a real vision. He had a real understanding of these characters and where he wanted to take them, and Warner Bros. Is like, I don't know, 3 hours. We can't really put that in too many theaters. You're gonna have to cut that thing down. So.
Did y'all see that hashtag? Sorry, Zach, or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, poor guy.
It is what it is, though. I guess. I mean, at least he's no Josh Trank, so.
Oh,
You know.
Jesus. But yeah, I guess that's it for the BVS Ultimate Cut review. I guess. Do you guys have anything else to add to that?
Can
Marvel
we?
for life. 2 out of 10.
done.
Batman v Superman sucks.
Wow.
Not enough Wonder Woman. 5 out of 10 IGN.
Too much color.
I guess we'll go. We do have some questions, but I guess we'll cover the only one that I guess would warrant a larger discussion, if you will. And that is asked by. Give me a second. Let me pull this name up real quick. And it's asked by Dank Dodrio, and they ask, "What are your thoughts on Batman Return to Arkham being delayed, and do you think it is because of the graphical issues?" He put issues in quotation marks. Caboose, we're gonna start with you.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I have a bone to pick with a lot of the internet because everyone has seriously been on my ass for my personal opinions on what I think about this. And that is that we saw one trailer for Batman Return to Arkham. And the trailer, at a rough estimate, is about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, again, at a rough estimate, Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City are games that roughly take about 10 hours or so each to complete. That is 20 hours of gameplay that we have not seen compared to the 2 minutes that we did see. Now, I know, trailers usually are supposed to present the best of what has already been made of a video game. And sometimes that doesn't translate very well, which is obviously the case with Batman Return to Arkham. What people saw, they were not very pleased with. However, take in mind, a lot of the comparisons that were being made to Batman Arkham City and Batman Arkham Asylum's original edition to the remaster weren't the console versions. A lot of them were PC max resolution graphics of those games. No console to date will be able to match a PC at max resolution. So to compare those two things graphically is extremely unfair. Now, granted, it seems like Warner Brothers was not very happy with the progress that was being made with Batman Return to Arkham, so they said, okay, let's just hold this off for now. From what I understand, this time next week, a lot of press and a lot of people that were supposed to obviously get early reviews for this, we're going to get the game next week. So, you know, it's really crazy how fast and how, like, you know, late in the game that this delay happened. But it happened, you know. Whether or not you think the graphics were bad, I don't necessarily think they were terrible. I think the environments looked great. The character models didn't look so great. But, like I said, we only saw 2 minutes of footage compared to 20 hours of gameplay. So we couldn't make a fair enough judgment. But Warner Brothers has delayed it indefinitely. Who knows what's happening at this point? Usually when you hear the word indefinitely with a video game, it means it might not happen. But at the same time, Warner Brothers has probably pumped enough money into this to where they don't want to just cancel it. So my fingers are crossed. All I wanted from this, as a fan of the Arkham games, all I wanted out of getting Arkham Asylum and Arkham City on the next-gen consoles is to be able to play them again. My 360 is broken. I don't got a PlayStation 3. I have no means or ways of playing those games. So the thing I was most excited about was not that we were getting these crazy higher res graphics. It was that I got to play these phenomenal games again. So
couldn't agree more.
I don't know.
Couldn't agree more.
It's really unfortunate. I mean, when you're packing in 2 games onto one disc for these next generation consoles, not everything's going to be easy. So I think people were a tad too harsh and a tad too judgmental, and I wouldn't say that they're the reason the game got delayed, but Warner Brothers obviously heard some of the criticisms, and they probably took a step back from a third-person perspective and looked at the game and said, okay, maybe we're just not ready yet. We need to take some more time on this. From what I understand, from what people are getting in emails, it's still coming out in 2016. We just don't know when. So that's my thoughts. That's my little rant and my disagreement with obviously your guys' opinions on Return to Arkham. So I'll let you guys speak from here on out, and please keep your opinions as they are your own. Do not let me influence your opinion, as I just have my own opinion. So yeah,
I'm gonna save mine. Ander, what are your thoughts, man? What do you think?
I kind of have to agree about. I just want to play those games again. I don't really care too much about making it look as beautiful as I can. Now I'll agree. I'll just say I didn't think the graphics looked that great, except for the environment. I really did like the environment, but the character models were pretty rough. But them pushing it back, hopefully it doesn't get canceled, but I'm in no rush to have the game get released. I just want it to eventually get released. So I'm not terribly worried about it. If Warner Brothers thinks they need to spend more time on it, then spend more time on it. Make the best game you can.
Couldn't agree more with that one.
Damn. I mean, dang. I guess I'm the odd man out here. I honestly think that I think the whole graphical thing was one of the sole reasons why the game got delayed indefinitely. And the reason why I think that is with the word indefinitely. Usually, if a game has like bugs or glitches, whatever, they'll delay the game a few weeks or maybe a month just to polish it, just to make sure everything's nice and everything's running smoothly.
Or give us Arkham
But
Origins.
when you delay,
Or give us Arkham Origins, which glitches out every 3 minutes.
Oh God, I hate that game. I cannot. That's the one Arkham game that I will never play.
Oh, I
again.
still love. I
can't
still
stand
love
that
it, but it's glitchy as hell.
game. But I digress. I still and the reason why I think WB has kind of taken that and kind of said, okay, let's work on this some more is because you only get to make a first impression once, and that first impression with that trailer, for the majority of people, did not like how the graphics look. Yeah, the environments look great. They look vibrant. They look gorgeous. I'll give them that. But the character models is one of the main reasons why people play these games, is to see their favorite characters and to play as them.
But
and
you know
when they
what?
look,
I'll say this much. If nobody made a video comparing the graphics, I don't know if you'd hear nearly as much people complaining, because I didn't. When that trailer came out, everyone was celebrating. Everyone was going crazy. Nobody was sitting there like, what happened to the graphics? It wasn't until someone made a comparison that people were like, oh, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but it feels like at some point someone made a video and they were like, this is what the games look like from the remaster compared to the original, and I think they look terrible, and everyone was like, maybe I should share that same opinion. But I don't know, we don't live in that world where that was the circumstances. So it's just a really weird situation, because when that trailer came out, everyone was going crazy. Everyone was celebrating and everyone was really excited. And then the moment someone made a graphical comparison video, like, things started going downhill in the community. So it is what it is. I'm glad, I guess, that it got delayed, because now they're just going to fix whatever problems were originally there, and hopefully we'll be getting a better experience because of that. So
See,
yeah.
I noticed a tad, but I didn't care. I just wanted to play the games. Like, sue me.
yeah, that's how I am too. I mean, I am pleased for the delay, because I hope that they do fix the graphics. I hope they have listened and said, okay, maybe the character models aren't up to par and aren't really where we want them to be right now. So maybe let's just delay the game and let's not put out a release date right now, because we still want to make sure that the character models they look as good as they can, and then release the game. Now if the graphics look the same when the game comes out, am I still gonna buy it? Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Because I love the Arkham series. I love they're very
Damn
close to my
straight.
heart. I've beaten Arkham Asylum like 1,000 times, and City. So I mean, I'm still gonna buy the game. It's just I just want the game to look as best as it can.
I can't believe people.
I was so
because-
hyped for Asylum
because I
because
love
I was really young when I first played Asylum. I was about 13 years old.
Yo, same.
And, I was a very young-minded, non-Caboose XBL at the time kind of person. So I didn't really know much. I still enjoyed it, but because I didn't really know much, I traded it in when I was done. And I don't think I've played Arkham Asylum from beginning to end ever since. So
It's on PlayStation now. If you have a PlayStation.
I did, but
You can,
PlayStation, I gotta pay like $10 million for that and everything just to rent the game for
Dude,
like
just
30 minutes.
Just make an account, get the free trial, and then that's what I did.
No,
Is there a
start
free trial?
talking good about Marvel and DC movies and get checks, dude. That's what I do. Come on, guys. Work the system.
I gotta jump on that bandwagon eventually, man. I need those checks.
Oh wait, I hate how people are mad because they're listening to the fans. Like, fans are pissed at the graphics, so they're like, "Hey guys, we're gonna fix it." And people are mad they're trying to fix it. Like, be happy. Like, I'd rather wait and get a perfect game, even though I was gonna buy it to begin with. But you can't please the internet. I don't think. Like, that's the truest.
No, you
thing I've
can't,
ever
because
said.
It's the same with comic book
because
fans. You can't.
Half a decade ago,
Especially
everyone was
DC
like,
fans.
"Man, I really want to drive the Batmobile in an Arkham game." And last year, everyone was like, "Man, whose idea was it to drive the Batmobile in an Arkham game?"
Yeah, Batman Arkham
Hey
Knight
man,
Rider.
Hey
was
man, they
great.
put too much Batmobile in that game. I'm just saying, they put way too much.
Stealth
all right, Josh,
Batmobile
just
missions.
you see what happens next time you ask me to be on the show, all right, Josh? See what happens.
Stealth Batmobile missions are the best. What are you talking about?
Oh god, dude,
I actually love Arkham Knight though. Like, that's
Yeah, no, Arkham Knight. I mean, Arkham Knight has its faults, but I mean, for the majority of the game is pretty good.
Yeah.
But oh my god, all right, all right, we're gonna stop unless we start going on some more tangents. Does anybody have anything else to add before we get out of here?
Can we keep talking about Ultron and Apocalypse? Because Caboose seems really passionate about that, and I kind of want to hear more.
Listen, we don't need to talk any more about Ultron being a trash villain, but hey, if you want it, we can.
Shots
really?
fired! Shots fired. I mean, he
You're
was
gonna
pretty
You're
bad.
gonna catch these hands after this.
Let me grab my popcorn real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Ultron was pretty bad in that movie, dude. I'm sorry.
I like
guess
Spader though.
I'm too
James
smart
Spader
for
was
that.
great
This
though.
has been the most feisty episode of Comic Drops in the history of this podcast's existence.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I love it. We need more of these.
You're welcome. I'll take that.
But I guess that's it for us today. I want to thank everyone for joining us on this wacky review / deal.
Rant. Where we talked
Yeah,
about Ultron
rant.
for 5 minutes. The
Yeah.
Batman v Superman video.
But I guess Parker, since you're our guest, why don't you tell people where they can find you at on the internet?
Yo, you can follow me at SuperBroMovies on Twitter. Pretty much the best Twitter like ever. Pretty much. I'm starting a YouTube
Second best.
channel. Oh,
My
second.
Twitter
Caboose.
exists, so.
Oh,
Actually, third, Comic Drop still exists. I'm just saying.
okay.
Hey,
Top five best Twitter accounts at SuperBroMovies. I'm the bro. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'm trying to work on that, but I'm super busy with like work and summer and college. So that's about it.
Okay. All right. Caboose, what about you?
You can find me on YouTube at Caboose XBL or on Twitter or Instagram at Caboose_XBL. And I have a Facebook, and it's not vacant anymore. I actually post on it occasionally. So maybe you'll
Why?
see a tumbleweed or two drop by every now and then. But it's active. It's been updated, so you can check that out. It's Caboose XBL as well. So
How
yeah,
many of
that's where
your
you can find
How
me.
many of your relatives are friends with your Facebook account?
What's that?
How many of your old relatives are friends with your Facebook account?
I'm not sure if I'm comfortable sharing.
5 friends.
One too many.
Grandma Caboose, Grandpa Caboose.
Andrew, what about you, man?
You can find me on Twitter at AnderWriter. Come on by. I always love talking comics, especially Aquaman, of course.
Aquaman
Sucks.
That's
Sorry.
such a. I don't
I'm
know
sorry,
how you
what'd
came
you
up with
say?
that.
I don't even speak English.
Hey, Aquaman, so what did you say? Oh man, I don't speak English. Oh my god.
I thought I heard a little Aquaman bashing going on over here.
What? That's
There's about to be
blasphemy,
a
Andrew.
fight
Come
after
on.
we end this podcast. Jesus
Aquaman is
Christ.
the worst superhero ever created. And
What?
Oh my
Those are not my
God.
words.
I'm totally kidding. I love Aquaman. I'm totally kidding.
This
Don't
is so
hurt me.
entertaining.
Okay, all right.
Don't hurt me.
I'll remember that.
It's the silent ones you have to watch out for, Parker. So watch out for the silent ones, yo. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Dark Knight of Ren. That's 1K for the Dark in the Night. I run a DC page on Twitter at DCU News. Check us out on Amazon.com if you like wearing like t-shirts and looking fly and looking spiffy for the males or females, you know, chilling. And as always, keep it locked to ComicDrops.com for the latest news and superhero media and video games and other stuff that we decide to post that don't really have any place on the page. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace.